Hi guys, I often get asked about my buy-to-let investment strategy, about what I'm thinking and what I'm doing currently just now. So in January, I decided to take the plunge again and just get back into buy-to-let and just keep going. So I've identified 3 properties. I'm going to talk about one today. This is the one behind me here. This is 135 Balgarby Crescent in Cooper. Now, this is a 2-bedroom upper apartment, and it was, it basically came by my way because a landlord said to themselves, I've fallen out of love with the property, I'm looking to sell, and lo and behold, I made them an offer. Now, I made them an offer at market value. I'm not bothered because my numbers work, and I'll demonstrate to you how these numbers work, and I'll show you how that's come about and how you can make really good returns on buy-to-let investments. And this is a classic example. I'll take you through it. So I'm going to show the property inside and see what it was. So when I bought it, this is it here, 2-bedroom upper apartment, and we'll have a wee look inside. We have the lounge, so good sized lounge, nice and spacious. You've got a wall mounted fire there, gas fire. To the rear there, in here, that's where the kitchen is. And so you've got a kitchen, a breakfast and kitchen, so nice as well. And a double bedroom, the rear of the double bedroom, another double bedroom, another double bed, the rear of the double bedroom. Now, in the bathroom itself, shower over bath, so you can see itself in the garden as well. So this is it's quite a nice flat. I could tell you, show you some of the numbers as well and what I paid for this. Let me just jump onto my screen, and I'll show you some of the numbers. So what I paid for this when the landlord came along and says, look, I'm just wanting to offload it. I said, okay, I'm quite happy to do an off-market deal with you. I'll give you full home report value for it. So I gave him what was 68,000. So this is my ready reckoner. At the end of the day, when it comes down to buy-to-let is a numbers game. Sure, we're in a people business because we're looking after tenants and we're making sure they're looked at, the houses are safe, the houses are good, and they're great condition, and they want to live in them. And happy tenants means long lets, means full occupancy rate, means good returns for all. So you look after your tenant and you get a good return as a result. Let me talk to you about the returns. So I bought this for £68,000, 2-bedroom upper flat. That was the market value at the time. That made my numbers work. I paid 4% stamp duty because you have to pay that, the EDS, additional dwelling supplement. The deposit, well, let's look at that just now actually. I'm getting 525 per calendar month on this. So immediately when we look over at this number, this is a cash buy, remember. Look at this in a cash buy. I've bought this cash now, and because to get over the line. So 9.3% gross yield is the cash amount that we're talking about. So 9.3% cash. If anybody talks about gross yield and a mortgage is involved, it's completely irrelevant because that goes out the window straight away. So let's look at the numbers after that. The intention is to buy that and rent it, and then in 6 months' time, what I'll do is I'll put it on a buy-to-let mortgage. Really, I bought it for cash because I couldn't make the deadline for the mortgage works to actually get the mortgage in place in order to satisfy the seller. So 6 months' time, I'll get a mortgage on that. I'll get the money back out, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with after that. So cash would generate that. So that's me got 68,000 basically tied up in this deal already. So in 6 months' time, what I'll do is I'll then remortgage it back out, 25% loan to value, the mortgage works just now. Your mortgage interest rate just now is around about 3.5% for a limited company. Your arrangement fee is around about £1,000 for that one, so probably about 2%, that brings in £1,000. And there's your rental value. Your occupancy rate is probably going to be quite high. So 12 months, we'll assume 100% occupancy rate just now, and I'll show you the ready reckoner on how that works. So after the mortgage is paid and my rent is brought in, I'm clearing £373.28 to pay for the overheads. Now, I assume in this equation there's 30% overheads. I make sure there's overheads for a letting agent to look after the property because I am not remotely interested in being a landlord. I want to be an investor. I want to be a passive income generator. I don't want to get involved now, and I've done that before. I've been in it for 30 years. I've been involved in it in the beginning as a landlord, and I want to be an investor. I want somebody else to look after it, so I've got a managing company that does that. So that accounts for part of the management fee, and it also accounts for putting money aside for things like insurance and any minor repairs that need done. If I need bigger repairs done, then I have a number of other properties to do that with, but I'll show you the reason why I'm saying about leveraging your income as well. So in this scenario, we can see there, we've got a 13% net return on your investment. Now, we'll pop down here as well, and we'll just put in this bottom here, we've got legals, because that's not in that figure. This figure, the total money in, is your deposit price plus your stamp duty. So your legals is probably about £1,000. I did spend another £1,000 probably giving it a lick of paint, making sure it was all compliant. The good thing it was all compliant already because the previous landlord had it and all his certificates were in place. So total amount in, if I mortgage it, is 21,000. That's including the legals and everything else. And then therefore I'm still coming out around about a net margin of 12%. Now compare that against a bank which is giving you 0. Okay, so it makes sense to do that. But look here, I have got 68,000 I initially had in this in money, in cash, but I've only got 21,000 in now. So technically I could get another 2 like that. So I can leverage this up to 3 properties and that'll take me up to 61,000. So with 3 properties with the same amount of money I bought for cash in the first place, I can then take that same scenario and I can generate a mortgage cash after the mortgages are paid of over £1,000. And therefore the overheads would come up and they stayed the same, 30%, and we would be generating a passive income of just over £7,500 every year out of the same amount of money. That's a 12%, just over a 12% net return. But look, interesting enough, over a 10-year period at 2% capital appreciation, because that's roughly what it's run at the now, property prices since 2000, the year 2000, have actually gone up 209% across 5. So basically more than tripled in terms of property values since the last 20 years. So I think 2% is quite a conservative figure to take. So over a 10-year period, 2%, with the profit I'll generate passively over the 10-year period, that's this one times 10, and then the capital appreciation, which is the amount of the value of the properties, because remember the total purchase price is now 204,000. So the capital appreciation of 2% of 204,000 over the 10-year period is 40,000. Therefore, giving me a total return over the 10-year period of 118,000, which is a return on an initial investment of 194%. Good returns. Initial equity in is 53,000. You have to take into account legals and improvements, and also the money in and the stamp duty, because that's all capitalised. So that's your figures there in terms of these numbers. And that's really how buy-to-let investment is done. If you want to increase that and leverage your income again, and you maybe have 120,000 to invest, you can change that to 6 properties at that same value, and you've got a money in of 120,000 now, and you're generating a total income over a 10-year period on these scenarios of 236,000, 197%. Still a 12% return, but your passive income every year now is now £15,000 with that 120,000 in and leveraging the bank's income. Interest rates might not change because this is secured as a 5-year fixed rate deal. So for the next 5 years, there's, that will not change in terms of interest rate. Now let's see if occupancy rates change. So if occupancy rates went down to 11 months, so you only had 11 months of the year it was filled, you can see how all these numbers change, but you're still generating return on investment 179% over 10 years and 11% passive income net return on your investment. You could change it to 6 months. You're still getting over the line. You've got 2,000. You're about breaking even at this point in time. But you could see there in this scenario, you'd have to have 6 properties sitting empty for 6 months of the year, and that is never going to happen. So it's good for risk analysis as well, and make sure you know where you are, because your mortgage interest rate is stable. Your occupancy rate can change. Your deposit's the same. Stamp duty will never change because it's only a one-off. Your 2% arrangement fee will never change because that's a one-off, but your rent might change. So if you decide the rents drop and suddenly they went down to £450 per calendar month, you're still earning a passive income of just over £11,000 and 10%, almost 10% return on investment every single year on your initial money. So this is how to leverage income and buy to let, and how to generate income. And this is what I do with this property at the back of it. So that's how I do it. So basically this one at the back of me here, that is going to, the tenant's going to be moving in on the 13th of March, and they'll be looking forward to it. It's all nice and presented, And the same, I've got another one coming online and this month in St Monans, and then I've also got another one coming online, which is actually currently tenanted property in the Leavenmouth area as well. Bought for 36,000, told everybody about it. They should be buying it, should be buying it, should be buying it, because the tenant was there for 7 years so far, and they've been paying £375 a month. So it made absolute sense for me, but for some reason, people just can't see it. You've got to understand that mindset in order to make sure you know what you're doing in property investment. I've actually put some of the details in this post to this vlog itself to demonstrate the property that I've actually just let and what it is. But also, I've actually said in the post as well that I'm more than happy to discuss anything you want to discuss in terms of your initial buy-to-let journey, or if you've got a big portfolio or a small portfolio, I'm more than happy to look at that and see where you can generate more income out of what your existing assets are. You'd be amazed at what you don't know is what you don't know. And that's the frightening thing. If you don't know you're able to do it, you'll never know to do it. And that's where you could lose a lot of money in terms of investment. You've got the investment anyway, you may as well try and maximize it as much as possible. At the end of the day, you need to maximize it because you do have a responsibility to the tenant, to the fact that if your heating breaks, then you need to be in a position to actually just put your hand in your pocket and fix that heating straight away. If you've got a leak in the roof, you can fix that leak straight away. You've got the money to do it, and you've got the returns and means and investment to do it. And that's how you do buy-to-let, guys. So that's my wee vlog for today. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. I've got the Fife Property Show at 9:30 live. We're going to be talking about selling in the spring and exactly what you should be doing to maximise your potential for your property to sell in the spring. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 9:30 on the Fife Property Show live.